motorcycle with me.
Alright, so I am in the middle of packing still for this next cross-country trip. I am going to BabesRideOut in Borrego Springs, California. However, Mother Nature has decided it's going to be significantly colder than when I originally planned this trip. It does mean that I needed to change my itinerary just a little bit. I have decided to camp significantly less than I normally do for these cross-country trips. And that does mean I've decided to pack a little bit lighter for my camping gear and a little bit more heavy on the warm weather gear so I don't freeze to death. But my intentions are still the same. I do plan on, of course, attending BabesRideOut and then exploring Arizona a little bit more afterwards, as well as making my way to Oklahoma for the Keys to the State event before heading home. But did adjust my, plan B and plan C routes just in case it gets a little too cold for me. But we're gonna see how it goes. Well, with that said, the beginning and majority of my packing. So of course I have my typical insulated gear that I wear. I have an insulated overalls from Carhartt as well as a matching jacket and my regular gloves that I normally wear. And then this bag was a last second freak out. Amazon has some kind of heated gear situation. It's a pair of leggings and long sleeve shirt, and it seems to be reasonably lined. So we'll see if that helps, and some heated gloves. I have them where I think I can attach them to my USB, but if not, I do have some battery backups for that as well. Of course, my helmet and my GoPro and all that stuff. And I'm gonna camp super light this time because I'm actually only able to camp in Borrego Springs. So just my tent and a really lightweight sleeping mat and my chair. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to bring my chair, but we're going to see if I'm going to bring the chair. And of course, I attached everything with my nifty ratchet straps. I am bringing my awesome sleeping bag. This is one of those silk bags, so it's like a onesie that you can wear. And I'm, picky. I need my actual little pillow. My tank bag that includes my Camelback so I can hydrate the entire way, and my basic snacks. I have decided that because I'm not going to be camping as much, I'm probably just going to be bringing snacks and coffee and then figuring out a dinner or something. And of course my cooler bag because, well, snacks. All right, on to the next. Forever riding a little bit. So today is going to be one of those days where you just ride a bit. And that's the thing. It's like some days are going to be beautiful and some days are just some highway. Today's highway. miles to a tank, depending on how much I'm packed and what kind of terrain it actually is. But I think that's about every 3 hours, and it keeps me on a pretty good schedule to like refuel and eat and stretch. But I do keep most of my stops to pretty much a minimum, normally nothing more than 30 minutes, ideally around that 15 to 20 minute mark, and then I get going again. But I do think that keeping a reasonable schedule for stops makes these long days go a lot easier, and breaking it into chunks, that's a lot more realistic. If you haven't been through this tunnel, it's just kind of freaking cool. It goes under the water, and I think, I don't know, it just seems so weird to have a motorcycle in a tunnel under the water. So I'm in Mobile, Alabama, and something that's been going on since this last week and going to Forgotten Angels is my cruise control stopped working. During the camp out, we tried to problem solve that issue, and what we thought it was is not what it was. So while I switched out the switches for the cruise control the other day, didn't fix it last night. So I am at a cycle gear in the middle of Mobile, Alabama, and I got myself a new enhancement for now. This area of I-10 I've actually not been on in two-wheeled, so it's been pretty cool to see it in a little bit different capacity than on cage. Texas. Day 1 complete.